Today we're going to be talking about the impacts of screen time and social media on children and teenagers. The increased use of technology is essentially damaging our youth's future. We're all addicted to our mobile phones, our smartphones, our tablets, our computers. We can't essentially function without them anymore, it seems. And does the use of computers, tablets, phones have damaging or short or long-term effect on children's growing brains? The growing dependency on smartphones and computers, there's clinical research performed to prove and oftentimes disprove this argument. It is being proven in many cases that smartphones, tablets, and video games are detrimental to the health of our young brains that we're raising in today's society. The use of multimedia devices, be it computers or smartphones, video games, even TV, can lead to ADHD and or obesity. I found this interesting when I was doing my research, that obesity tied into this, and it's not direct use of a phone is going to cause obesity. However, it's proven that those who spend most of their time in front of a TV or in front of their phone, on their computer, doing things that require minimal movement, aren't getting the activity that they need to burn the calories they're consuming, which then turns to increased weight. The secondary part to that is whenever you're so consumed by this device you're using, be it your phone or in the middle of a video game or computer game, you're not eating well. You're looking for the fast foods, quick snacks, drinks, the sugary drinks, and you're not getting the exercise or fueling your body the way you should be because you're more concerned about your device. Long periods of sedentary movement is going to cause weight gain because your body's not exerting the energy to burn the calories that you're consuming. It's also been proven that smartphones are causing behavioral problems in young children in schools. For whatever reason, the addiction to technology is causing kids to not have the intellectual capabilities to ration, be it because they're not having the interpersonal communication or what have you, but they are unable to accept criticism, and they're more apt to respond irresponsibly. We see it all the time on social media these days, where you get called a keyboard warrior, which is where somebody who disagrees with a statement, a comment, a position of somebody, and because they're hiding behind a screen, they can argue, they can disagree disrespectfully, insult, because they're just using their keys. Had that same conversation occurred in person, the likelihood of that is far less. The chances that, because they're protected behind their screen and there's no one to become forceful or physical in their rebuttal, one person is more inept to become more belligerent. The continued use of smartphones is causing negative effects on social and psychological development, and it's shown to cause depression, feelings of loneliness. And that ties a lot, I would think, more to the social media side, because we only put our best life for the public to see, when in reality, the few moments captured that are put onto social media are the minority of our days, or weeks, months, years. Everybody's life isn't perfect all the time. No one's driving the nicest cars. Not everyone's driving the nicest cars all the time, or living in the biggest house, or have the most vacations, or the best looking spouse, or what have you. There's so many things, experiences that people go through that aren't they're not ordinary, and that's why it's on social media, because it's an exception. It's something that somebody enjoyed a time of their life that is very much enjoyed, but it's not their everyday life. Not everybody's everyday life. There's always an exception for that as well. Social media is causing a false reality. And like discussed just a minute ago, people believe, younger folks especially, even older folks, they want to live that life, that materialistic life where they can post their new Lamborghini on Instagram, or their Bali vacation on Instagram, or their new trip that they're taking because they're a multimillionaire from their pyramid scheme business, which is probably not true. We don't know the truths behind many of these assertions, but all we see is what we see, and our minds make us think that someone's living a better life. And somebody is always living a better life. No matter who it is, there's somebody who's running faster than you, who has more money, but we have to be grateful for what we have and not let our lives be lessened by someone else who may be doing a little bit better. However, because of this, and all these teenagers are influenced by social media people, influencers is what they call them, they're getting post-traumatic stress. And initially I thought that may be a very bold statement, but it's true, because they're going through these experiences of seeing other people who live in nicer areas, or whatever it is that has triggered these teenagers, and it's causing them great anxiety to become that person who they're inspired by, and that comes at a cost. And that could be criminal, it could be a lot of things, but it's not healthy. Becoming consumed by social media is opening kids up to uncontrolled risk of feeling depressed and isolation, anxiety, and aggression, all for the reasons mentioned before. All those trickle down. You can't have something, you're jealous, you become angry, whatever it is. You could be happily married, have a great family, but yet you see somebody who you want a bigger camper, and they have a nicer truck to pull that camper, and your neighbor has it, and you go out and do things, and then it's detrimental to the perfect family you have. You're living outside of your means for physical and mental gain. It really means nothing. It's all materialistic. But teens especially are more susceptible to this because they don't have the rationalization of what it really is. And through high school, it's a tough time when you're a teenager, when you're trying to prove who you are and who you're going to become, just to be liked. When in reality, your 100 friends that you had in high school turn to, call it 100 pennies. You had 100 pennies in high school that you hung out with, and as you grow up to be an adult, you end up with 4 quarters. And quantity isn't the same as quality as you get older. And it's hard to understand that when you're a teenager, and so the more friends you have on social media doesn't matter. But at that time in their life, it does matter. To them, for whatever reason, they think it matters. And we need to create a more understanding for these young folks that it's good to be liked, it's good to be successful, it's good to have nice things. You need to have things to aspire to work towards. However, it can't consume your life. And through my research, found that there's some folks who have even gone so far to try and make better lives, young men, women, trying to get attention, trying to get money, trying to get fame, clout, as they call it, followers, to be on this next level they think they need to be on, and it's causing them to do different things, sexual exploitation, where they're posting risque photos in scantily clad clothing, which may get the likes that they want on their photo, or that may get the followers they're looking for on Instagram. It may get somebody to buy them something nice, but then again, the quality of that is minimal, and these young folks have now put themselves out there for the world to see, and in a full circle will bring them back to the depression, to the post-traumatic stress, to the anxiety and isolation, because their whole life is consumed by these photos. And you do one photo, somebody's going to ask for something different, and then it's going to a compounding effect, and onwards and upwards, and there's no telling where it can lead. And unfortunately, we have such an epidemic with young folks getting into sex trafficking, or into drug addictions, and unfortunately, I think this is all social media is a gateway to that, and it all starts at such a young age. We put smartphones and tablets into toddlers' hands just for distraction while they're at dinner, because they're being loud and you want a quiet dinner, or they're in the car and you want a distraction. Well, that cute little YouTube videos that they're watching turns into more adult-like YouTube videos, and then it turns to social media, and then it's a full circle, and here we are back again. Therefore, my personal opinion is that the social media and the access to smartphones and children and teenagers is proven to be detrimental to the health and social progression, cognitive progression in our youth. And we need to spend more time with our children without those things, teaching them greater morals. Even morals can be jeopardized by social media, and you can be the best parent, but these folks can be consumed by the outside world, and we need to prove to them that there's more to the outside world, literally, than social media and technology.